What's up, everybody? It's Sound of Culture. I'm Xavier.
I'm Jaden.
Today's album is An Evening with Silk Sonic. We'll turn it on later. By Silk Sonic, which is a duo between Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. So starting with Bruno Mars, Peter Hernandez, aka Bruno Mars, was born on October 8th, 1985 in Honolulu, Hawaii. His father, also Peter Hernandez, is a Puerto Rican and Jewish, and his mom, Bernadette, is San Pedro Bayot, had immigrated from the Philippines to Hawaii.
So he's a group project.
At a young age, his father nicknamed him Bruno since he looked like the professional wrestler Bruno Sammartino. Bruno had grown up around music all his life, with his mom being a singer and dancer, and his uncle even being an Elvis impersonator, convincing Bruno to be one himself as a child. He would also have a family band growing up. He would have a lot of experience with stardom growing up too, even having a cameo role in the movie Honeymoon in Vegas, which would get him an interview on MTV. Unfortunately, when he was 12, his parents split up, and he had to live with his father in the slums of Hawaii.
Damn.
When Bruno first started in the industry, he was originally just writing songs like Right Round by Flo Rida, until eventually he got a few shots being featured on the songs Nothing on You by B.O.B. and Billionaire by Travis McCoy. Since then, he has released 4 studio albums, all of which received major praise. In general, Bruno Mars is very successful, having his own Super Bowl performance, being the #1 most streamed artist on Spotify as of right now, and nominated for 32 Grammys, winning 14 of them.
When was the Super Bowl performance? I know Anderson .Paak showed up for the whole.
Bruno's was like very early. It was like before 24K Magic had come out.
Because I know Anderson .Paak came out for like that whole Avengers meetup with Eminem and Dr. Dre. Because they were doing like the drums, but that's it.
I know for Bruno's Super Bowl, it was 2014. Wait. Oh, yes. He headlined 2014, but then in 2016, he was a special guest.
Got you.
And then on his own 2014, he had Red Hot Chili Peppers as the guest, which was weird to see.
Who's Red Hot Chili Peppers?
They're like a rock band.
Got you.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep going until it stops. Anderson .Paak, on the other hand, Brandon Paak Anderson was born on February 8th, 1986 in Oxnard, California. He had an African-American dad and a Korean mother.
Oh, wow.
When he was 7, his estranged dad had attacked his mother and was arrested for 14 years. Then, when he was in his senior year of high school, his mother got arrested for major fraud.
Jesus.
He started producing in his bedroom in high school. In 2011, he made an EP called Cover Art, in which he only did covers, calling out how in 1950 white artists would make commercially selling covers of songs by black R&B artists without giving any compensation. He would then release 4 studio albums, seeing some praise. He is very successful, having 14 Grammy nominations, winning 8 of them. He would also be the drummer on the Dr. Dre group Super Bowl performance in 2022.
Yeah. It was like high school. It was like freshman year, I think.
Was it? Wait, I gotta double check.
It was 2022, 2023, I feel. Or Rihanna was 2023. It was recent. I know that for sure.
Yeah, 2022.
So we're in 8th grade?
Yeah. I don't know why they're arguing up there. Moving on to the album Evening with Silk Sonic. Silk Sonic, as I said, is the duo between Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. And Evening with Silk Sonic is the only album they've made together, released on November 12th, 2021. When making the album, the goal was to make an album that sounded like the 1960s and 1970s. Altogether, the album has elements of R&B, soul, funk, hip hop, and pop. The album was very successful, being number one on the U.S. R&B slash hip hop chart and won 4 Grammys. Overall, the album is supposed to just be a very fun time.
Yeah.
So, I am a big fan of Bruno Mars, and I've listened to this album multiple times, so I do have a lot of experience with it.
I like Bruno. I'm not like a huge fan, but like I feel like who doesn't like Bruno?
Yeah.
It's hard to not like.
There's
his
a reason
music.
he's number one.
Yeah. No, I thought it was Weekend that was number one.
Nah, he got bumped out.
Oh, actually,
I think it was probably because of his what was the Lady Gaga song? Die with a Smile, and then APT, and then the Sexy Red song. It was just back to back to back.
Yeah, well, Bruno Mars's music is like all over the place, so I find it hard to dislike it because even though it's like quote unquote overplayed, it's still like something
Good,
I listen
yeah.
to. Like Die with a Smile, I hear all the time, like on Instagram or TikTok, and I'm like, I'll still listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, I still haven't listened to the whole song because I feel like I've listened to it already from YouTube or like wherever.
All right, we're gonna come back to you guys with the review. All right, we are back from the listening.
It was a short listening.
Yeah, sweet and to the point.
Yeah.
All right, so first song is the Silk Sonic intro. What did you think?
I think this is the best intro we've listened to so far.
I think Anderson Paak. This is a good. I don't know how to say it, but like his ad libs and just like him on this album is amazing.
Leave the Door Open.
Hold on. For the intro, I do like how they introduce how it's like they're a band and they're like performing to an audience, but at the same point, they don't really like keep that throughout the entire album.
Yeah, they lose track of it very quickly.
I wish at the end they would have done like a thank you for listening or something, like some sort of like classic band thing you would have said, but it's all right.
Yeah. I gave the intro 9 out of 10. That was the best intro we've listened to so far. Leave the Door Open, 10 out of 10. So Bruno shows off a lot of his vocal range here.
Yeah.
So
I think this is like the first time you ever sing like this.
Yeah. It's a really nice showcase. So I think when I first got to listen to it, I didn't really understand like, oh, this was like the first time he really did something like this until like listening to a little bit more of his music.
I like some of the songs have pauses in them, and I feel like this album does those pauses correctly, where like a lot of songs they'll just like put the pauses in there randomly and throughout, but like this one they're purposeful and they have like an effect for it, and I feel like it's like one of the first times that they've done it right, and at least through the podcast that we've seen.
Yeah.
And like these two songs are like just a strong start for the album. And I feel like for the background vocals in these albums, they help carry a lot. And it's like the background vocals I think make it seem like it's more of a performance than it is an album, because they're singing with the background vocals and not as opposed to like just having them there to sound better.
Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. It's a lot of passion behind it. Fly As Me. I gave an 8.5.
Really?
For that. Yeah, I like the bounciness, but the vocals didn't match. That's how I felt. The chorus was good though. I like the chorus a lot.
I did like the beat switch up on here. I like Anderson's Paak's storytelling in this song, and just in general his rhythm in this song is like it matches so well, and he can like change and make it however he wants it to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just showcased how much of a musician he is.
Yeah, this is more of like a they get to show off
Mm,
and have they had a lot of fun with this. I could tell. Like
yeah.
it wasn't like something pressured by the label. It was
Mm,
something purely out of their own passion and joy.
yeah.
After last night, 9 out of 10.
Song starts out a little freaky.
Yeah, I see your screen. I'm like, I had the same thing too. So we both thought it was freaky, but I think the vocals are very smooth. It was a very
Wait, is this
satisfying.
the song with? Yeah, so this song has Thundercat. I forget who the other one
It
is.
was like it had like features on it.
It was with
It was like
Thundercat
it was like
and
it's like Bobby or something.
Thundercat and Bootsy Collins,
Yeah.
which I think Anderson Paak has worked with Bootsy Collins before.
I liked
I like the harmonizing in the song.
yeah, so there was like it was very satisfying to go from like the harmony to like the bit of the choppiness
Mm,
of how the lyrics were delivered back to like it going back to smooth. And then I remember he does like they pump fake a beat switch just for them to go back to the same beat, which I do like. I think that they realized like the beat was fine before, so just like introducing a little something to help not make it redundant, but like enough to keep you engaged to listening is
mm.
something good.
This one is a lot more of a relaxing song.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I think all of the songs, their outros are like they add so much into it that they all just end very strong.
Yeah. Um,
Next song, Smoking Out the Window.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's very smooth. I remember the Spotify ads because at the time I was running Spotify free, and like every time, like I hate listening to Spotify with the ads, but like that summer when it just came out, I remember it was
It
nice
came
to
out in
hear the.
November, brother.
It did. Well, they were still advertising it during that whole year. Because I remember I was like at Texas and they were just still like
Mm.
shoving ads down my throat.
I think this song definitely showcases how they do the pauses just right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And in this song, they put up like a lot of. You can tell there's a lot of emotion into it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, it's a very good listening experience. I think it's like the whole album. It's something to vibe to. The execution on this song particularly was good. I think that the whole album in itself is good, but if you were to pick certain songs, it it's not something I expected. Like my expectations were pretty high,
Mm.
knowing Smoking Out the Window and what is it? Leave the Door Open. And after hearing the intro, my expectations just got higher, and then it kind of came soaring down after hearing a couple of the songs.
Really.
Yeah. The opening, what like four were good, but then I think it just started to like fall a little bit.
Next one, Put on a Smile.
8 out of 10. It missed the vibe of the album. I think it was
Yeah.
the beat. It was like it was a bit mellow. It wasn't mellow, but like it just looked saturated compared to like the rest. Everything else is very colorful and vibrant and like energetic, and this is like more. It's like less of the colors inside of it. It's more like like unsaturated.
I think Bruno really shines this one. I think he's like singing the chorus the entire time, and they don't do like the switch they usually do.
Yeah.
Um, I said that the background vocals once again really shine in this song, and Bruno's just got such a strong voice that like he just carries the song.
Yeah. And
Next
then
is 777.
I gave that a 7.5 out of 10. I think that
Really?
was the weakest song of this album, I think.
I kind of like this song.
For me, it was a bit overstimulating, but like it works because the whole thing was like based around casino,
Yeah.
which I had to like think about for a second. But like it was there. I just didn't like that. I think the whole I like smoking out the window and leave the door open had like two similar vibes, and I assumed it would just be the same uniform throughout the album. Something I would have loved to see because I don't know, for whatever reason I like that vibe a lot.
I said that this song kind of feels like the song they put on for like the Diary Wimpy Kid Roger Rules there, where they had like the house party.
Oh yeah,
This feels like the song that would play during like a party montage or something.
I see. Uh, Skate.
I didn't have a lot to say. I think it's good. It's just
I give it a 9 out of 10.
yeah.
It was old fashioned. I felt the '60s vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Love Train. I gave it a 10 out of 10 for the fact that I was able to fall asleep to it.
Really?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I feel like like the same thing with like Leave the Door Open. I got so accustomed to it. I just like it just like on response I'll fall asleep to it. Uh, I didn't really listen to it. Love Train. I just fell asleep. I'm pretty sure it was a good listen for however long it was.
I liked it. It was they had a really strong chorus. I think um the songs like Smoking Out the Window and leave this song and Love no Leave the Door Open. They like feel like classic songs,
Yeah,
but they've only came out in like the past 3 years.
yeah. Like this
So
this album feels like it came out a millennium ago, but like
yeah,
it's still pretty recent.
mm,
And then Blast Off.
final song.
I said it was a 9 out of 10. It was a fun listen.
Yeah, I love the finish they have to it. I think it could have been like its own like separate outro
Oh
though.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but it's definitely a strong finish to a good album.
Yeah,
I did say the beat does sound a little bit like Love Strain, especially in the beginning.
yeah. I think this album, like in terms of what I was expecting and in terms of what was delivered, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's just not what I expected.
Mm.
That being said, looking from like an objective approach, this is easily like a good 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But from my expectations, I'm saying it's gonna be like a 8.5. Just because I wanted, like, I was so wrapped around like the fascia of that the album would be similar to Smoking Out the Window and Leave the Door Open entirely, that
Mm.
like I just like didn't really expect anything else, and I was kind of disappointed to not see it be like anything else
Mm.
like those two.
All right. So I personally give it a 10 out of 10. What do
Yeah.
you give it 8.5?
So I agree with the 10 out of 10, but like looking at it from my like I have two ratings. Objectively, it will be a 10 out of 10,
Mm.
but personally, it's like an 8.5.
All right. So we'll call 9,
9.5.
9.5.
9.5. 9.5 is fairest.
All right. Let me mark that in. Where are you? There you are.
I forgot I am music 5. Upsets me.
All right, did I delete you? Yes, I did. The next song is. Come on now. All right, the next song is.
We're like breaking down this list slowly and steadily.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ghost in the Machine by The Police.
Is that just us or is that
Let me
I feel like it's a
check.
May thing or a Julia thing.
That is just us.
Oh wow.
Yep. I
Who's
think
the
it's Leo recommended to me, but he didn't want to come on.
got you? Who are the police?
I know they're a band. Oh, I forget if the one song I'm thinking of was them or the Eagles. Is this it?
Oh,
This was in the Indian wedding dance.
got you.
Oh wait, no, it was a different version. It was the P Diddy version of this, I think.
Oh, okay. Is it? Are we both doing this, or is it gonna be me?
This is you.
All right.
You.
So, since
Hold on. Let me pause. Pause.
since Xavier is going to a wedding in India, and I just came back from ICDC, I think we'll definitely have some form of guest. The recording space will definitely be different.
Oh yeah.
This beautiful wall will now turn into it'll turn into something, that's for sure. I'll find something, it'll happen, and then we'll just go from there. But there will be a guest.
All right. We're Sound of Culture. Follow us on our TikTok and Instagram, Sound of the Culture, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.